guys, again. Okay, oh my gosh. We're gonna do another look. I have nothing better to do. The house is pretty much unpacked. Tomorrow I'm gonna finish up Aveley's room. So we are gonna start another Halloween look. The skull turned out pretty cool this morning. So we're gonna start all over. So again, I don't have Wi-Fi on at my house here yet, so I have no reference picture. Hi, Brian. I have no reference picture or anything to look at because I can't run my tablet because I don't have any Wi-Fi yet. So just same thing as this morning. Hi, Trish. Hi, Patricia. We are going to jump on and we are going to try to get some, we're going to try to do Queen of Hearts. We're going to see how this goes. I am going to take my nose ring out for this one. I should have done that before. Sorry. Hopefully you guys are not seeing this because this is not cute. But I do have to get this nose ring out for this one because I'm going to be putting white face paint all over my face. Hey, Stetson. Hi, guys. Hey, Megan. Okay, so I've washed my face. Guys, y'all would be really surprised after all of that dramatic makeup that I had on this morning for that crystal skull. It came off really, really easy with my Dream Clean. So, you know, no chemicals, just washed it right off. So my skin feels really good right now. Because we are putting the white face paint all over, I'm doing okay, Stetson. We're just gonna do another Halloween look. It is really hot in here under these lights. I turned the air conditioner on, but we're gonna see if it works. I don't know that it works out here in the studio room, so we're gonna see. I was gonna turn a fan on, but I'm afraid all that background noise was gonna be really irritating. So we're gonna fly by the seat of our pants here and try to figure this out. Okay, so for this look, I'm gonna white out my whole face, and because I'm using, I don't have anything Limelife, I don't have any ivory or porcelain foundation on hand, so there's no way for me to really achieve that. So I'm gonna be using face paint for that. So I'm gonna be jumping into my Bo Buggles Pro face paint palette, and I'm going to be putting that all over. It is chemical, it is toxin free, so that's awesome. Anyway, we're gonna put white all over. We're gonna lift our brows up really high with a thin black line here. All of this will be blue inside that section. I'm gonna show you guys how to map that out. We're gonna cancel out our lips with some concealer and make those white as well. And then we'll do our, hey, thanks. And then we'll do our heart here in red. So everything I use will be Limelife minus my priming spray. I'm gonna use Professional priming spray from a different company only because I ran out of my priming spray, and I normally use my toxin-free firming lotion Limelife sunscreen with SPF 30 in it. That's what I use as my primer, but since I'm not going outside and this is just an indoor look. Hi guys, hi Paige and Rhonda and Trish. Hi y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna be whiting out my face, and I'm gonna be doing that with my Bo Buggles Pro white paint. So the way you create a barrier between that paint and your skin so that it doesn't stain you, because white is not as big of a deal, but if you start doing like witch looks in green or devil looks in red, that's gonna stain your skin. So you wanna create a barrier between that professional paint, hi Paige, and your skin. So I'm gonna be using my Skin Therapist lotion, which is my Limelife lotion. This is highly hydrating. It's for the dry skin line, which I do have. So we're gonna put that all over and rub that in really well. So you want not a wet canvas on your face because you want that paint to stick. But if your skin is very dry, that portion is going to absorb pigment a lot faster. This is regular makeup or theater makeup. Hey Matt, hey Jeff. This is going to, those dry spots are going to absorb pigment a lot faster, and you're gonna end up with splotchy makeup. So starting with a good canvas, whether we're discussing regular everyday makeup like Limelife, or if we're doing professional theater makeup, you wanna make sure you have a really good canvas going on. So I put on that moisturizer and sort of let it soak in, and then I'm gonna be using Urban Decay's Quick Fix Priming Spray. If I had more Limelife stuff, I would be using it, but that's my fault. I did not think ahead and order another one, so I'll be doing that today. But for now, I'm gonna be going in with this Urban Decay priming spray. So this is gonna help prime my skin and create a barrier between that paint I'm about to put all over. And I do like our Limelife priming spray a lot better than this Urban Decay stuff, but it's what we're gonna use for now. So, hi Ronnie. Hi Sean, hi David. Okay, so we're gonna dry that out. And I did bring it all the way down along my neck because she wears a white collared shirt. I don't have a white collared shirt. So I just wore a plain white shirt. We are going to be accessorizing. After I get off of here, I have a wig that I'm going to put on. It is not the Queen of Hearts wig, but it is a red wig that I'm going to pin up and kind of hopefully make it look semi-close to that. I'm just using what I have on hand here at home. So, hi y'all. Say hi when you get on. Say hello, 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 hello. So we're going to be doing some Queen of Hearts makeup. Let me jump in here. I do have a little bit from where I activated this palette because these are professional face paints. So it's a dry cake. And so I did activate it with this brush. So instead of wasting that paint, I'm actually going to go in and use what's in that brush and just splotch it on. Hey, that looks pretty cool by itself, right? Okay, done. Fantastic. Because I'm using white paint, I don't really have to use any concealer like the dark spots under my eyes or on top of my eyelids. I don't have to cancel any of that out with concealer just yet because it's not going to matter. So I'm actually going to be using a regular brush instead of a... We're going to try to see if we can make this work. Instead of a compact, I'm going to try to brush some of this on. It does dry really fast, as you can see, so we're going to just be putting this on all over. I'm half tempted to just do this with my hands, but then I would have to take a break and go wash my hands. But I don't have a cosmetic sponge on me. I thought I had some throwaway ones, but I couldn't find any. So I'm going to use my Beauty Blender. This is non-toxic professional face paint, so I'm not worried about using my blender with it. I'm going to use my blender. Hi, Matt. I'm going to go ahead and use my Beauty Blender and white out my whole face. And this stuff it does dry really fast. So you're going to want to get it on pretty quick. And we're going to be putting setting powder on top of this. I'm not worried about this going in my hair because she does have a very high forehead. And so I'm not worried about it getting up in there. We're going to be covering that portion right there with my wig anyway. So I'm not worried about it. We're just going to try to white out my face as smooth as possible. And then I'll be putting setting powder on top of all of this. And this stuff does dry fast, so you really have to work kind of fast with this Bow Bubble stuff. And we're just going to white out, white out, white out, white out. If I had any porcelain or ivory foundation from Limelife, I would just use that, but I don't, so. I also could not find a glue stick to white out my eyebrows, guys. I searched. I just moved, so, you know, things are a little crazy right now still. But I couldn't find a glue stick, or we would just put a glue stick. Hi, Mike. We would just put a glue stick on your eyebrows and rub it on, and that would actually work to cancel out your eyebrows. I'm going to have to do some work on them with some concealer after I get this on. This is just my base layer. We're going to go back in and perfect everything a little bit later. But for right now, this will work. And we're just going to blend that out. I'm so used to having my nose ring in, it's weird. So I'm going to try to get my Beauty Blender down in there. It's a tiny little pot. All right, so this is water activated face paint. It does dry rather quickly, so we're going to work kind of fast and try to get this smoothed out as much as possible. If it starts looking like you can't spread it, like these spots here look like they're already drying and they don't want to blend, you can just spray them with water and work them out. Like I said, this is my beginning layer, so I'm not too worried about it. Dun, 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 dun. It will look better once I get this all on, I promise. So if it starts looking like it is just a little bit too dry, you can reactivate that spot just with a tad bit of water. You just don't want to pick up the paint you've already laid down. And then I'm going to be putting setting powder on top of all this, so. I'm going to take my brush and activate a little bit more of this pan here. So you just take it in that cake pot. I'm gonna apply this with this brush to the flat end of my Beauty Blender. If I had a cosmetic sponge, this would be so much easier. You just really wanna work before those layers get really dry, because if they do, it actually starts picking up the layer underneath instead of adding to it. So what we can do is once we get this layer on, if it's still sort of see-through and looking funky, then we can powder it and then do it again. So I'm just lightly going all over with that white. You can kind of hear it ripping on my skin. But once I set it with that powder, it'll just set. It'll look good. I sort of wish I had my airbrush set up, because that is way easier than this. And cream makeup is a lot easier when you're doing a full face look, but we're gonna make this work. I'm gonna be focusing mostly on what's on my face, not my neck, just for the sake of time. I mean, I could be here for hours doing this. All right, so now we're gonna go in and I'm going to use a brush and we are going to apply setting powder all over that. I am using my Limelife setting powder. And we wanna set that really well. Don't worry, we're not done. We're just gonna set this layer with powder. Hey, Joshua. And if I don't like the way this looks, I'm gonna go wash my face and start over, because I don't know. These paints are acting funky, 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 funky. Okay, so I think if we're gonna try this and see if it works. Nope. We might actually end up having to brush this whole look, which is gonna be exhausting, but whatever works. I was hoping that my Beauty Blender would work, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to. So we might just have to work in small sections. You just want to move section to section, because if you don't, you'll start ripping off. Once it dries, you'll start ripping off stuff that you've already done. So the second layer of white you can see is working way better with that base on underneath it. So you just have to work kind of fast. I look like a mime. Okay, so we're just gonna white out our whole face, guys. This is the longest part of it, I promise. Everything else is gonna go really fast once we get this section done, because this is the portion, this is the whole face, and whiting out an entire face is not easy. Now, you can use Halloween makeup that you could get at like the Halloween store or Dollar General. Those will work a little bit easier, but they are very streaky because they're creams. And so I like using these dry cakes a lot better. Once it's a little complicated to use at first, but once you get the hang of it, I think they work way, way better. And they dry really fast. And then once they're dry, you don't have to worry about them smearing. It's one of the worst things about Halloween makeup, I think, is that they just smear really, really badly. So here we go. Working in sections, y'all, working in sections. So this has to go all the way up under my eye. Now, I'll tell you this, even though this stuff is non-toxic, I did get it in my eye once and my whole vision went cloudy because of the white. So we are going to be a little bit careful with that. So you want to go right up to your eye And then don't touch that again until it dries really well, because if it gets in your eye, it's really crazy. And then we're just going to do the best we can with our eyebrows for right now. If I was doing this professionally on somebody, I would have had a glue stick ready. And you just glue stick those babies down. So we're taking this all the way up into our hair. My wig is going to cover all of this. So you just keep activating that pot. I keep dipping into a pot of water over here beside me, and we just keep activating that cake. And then you just keep going. So there's a trick to getting, you want it white. You want to get it wet enough to where it, I mean, that covered up my eyebrows pretty well anyway. But you want to get it wet enough to where it actually will go on really smooth and take a minute to dry. But if you get it too wet, you don't want it running everywhere. So sort of a happy medium. And the more you mess around with them, the easier it is to learn. But if you start messing with the same section over and over again, you will start pulling pigment away from the section you've already done, which is why I'm working in little bitty pieces. And then you just keep adding water and keep activating that cake, and it'll just keep mixing up more paint. Looks kind of crazy, huh? And it's just like coloring. Now this stuff you kind of have to mash a little bit into your pores, or you will get pore lines. If I was doing this on stage professionally, I would have used a cream primer on my face as well. But God, that fly is back. Ever since the landlord left earlier, that fly has been buzzing around my house. Okay, so see, this section is already dry, but you can see it's looking a little less white. I'll have to go in and fix that in just a second. This is the part that's going to take the longest, though. And the rest of this look is relatively simple after this. Hey, Trish. Are you laughing at me, girlfriend? All right, so we got that section under my eye. We want to let it dry really well so I don't get it in my eyeball again, because that was really awful last time. And just keep working in small sections until we get it all covered. So since that section's already dry, I'm just going to pat some more wet on top. You just want to make sure it's very, very wet, or you're going to end up messing everything up. Looks kind of weird on that black background, huh? So just go over it lightly, lay your pigment down, and then go over it lightly with your brush, and that'll sort of help ease out any clumps that you see. I'm going to go over this with a white powder in just a minute so we can fill in any gaps that are looking kind of funky. But this will give us a really good white base because she's very, very fair. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here goes the not fun part. I'm going to have to jump in a shower when I'm finished with this. Because it's going to be all in my ears. But this is what the brush is good for. God, that feels really odd. So I'm not going to work this white paint down my neck, but I am going to do my ears so that when I get my wig on and take a picture, it's not going to look completely crazy. Although the top portion of my ears will probably be covered. So we're just going to slap some of this white out here. I wish I had a reference picture to show you guys, but I don't. I don't even have one to look at while I do this, so interesting, huh? Hi, y'all. Hey, Anna. So if y'all missed the skull from this morning, the crystal skull was actually pretty neat. And then I went out in town with it on and did not realize that the big pecan festival was going on here in Clyde. But I went to Dollar General, went to McDonald's, had my skull on. It actually turned out pretty cool. I liked it a lot. Booked 2 Halloween appointments out of that trip into town, so that's good. Okay. It looks awesome. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do, though. We're going to set that palette down for just a second, let that sort of do its thing. It's going to dry up, but we'll just activate it again. I'm going to put powder on all of this, but I'm going to go ahead and cancel. I'm going to white cancel my lips. And I'm just going to use some concealer first. Okay, so now I'm going to jump into my 18 well palette. I can still feel my ears drying. They need to be really dry before I add any of this powder on top. So this white is basically, you can see like it's kind of splotchy and it's kind of cracking, but that's okay. I'm using that as a base and I'm actually going to be putting powder over it. So it's all good. It's just going to help super without putting my concealer all over my face. This is going to help just cancel out all that color. Drying my ears. Drying my ears. All right, I'm going to go in with another brush. Now we have this cream right here. That's what I'm going to be using for my face. Now, this is 50% pigment. This is not like using other stuff, so be careful with it. And we're just going to start applying that up here on top of that white paint. So it's going to give it a little more of a skin texture, but it's not going to be ghostly white. Right now I look like a mime. I can still feel those ears drying a little bit, so we're going to go over the rest of this with this eyeshadow. This is Cream Boat. So it is really, really white. Like, it's so crazy because on my very pale skin, when I normally use this, it goes on. People messaging me. And normally when it's up next to my very pale skin, it looks very white. But when my skin's not this pale. So we put it on now, it looks sort of like a skin color. All right. And you don't want to mess around with that face paint too much. You will end up pulling some color off. All right, so now I'm going to go back over it with a bunch of setting powder. I've got powder flying everywhere. It's a good thing I have on a white shirt. So setting powder all over. My dad. Okay. So that canceled out my eyebrows pretty well, I think. Now, if I was doing this to actually go out of the house instead of just playing around, I would probably just use a foundation that was 2 or 3 shades lighter than myself, which like our porcelain or ivory Limelife foundation would have worked perfect. But I don't have any of those. So we just used that white out and then put some clear on top. So it's going to look a little crease-ish instead of like skin, but that's okay. Because once I take a picture kind of from a distance, it's not going to show up. And once I turn all these studio lights off, these things are not forgiving. So once I turn those off, it'll look very flush. All right, so I am going to go ahead and stick that in that water and be done with the face paint part. Okay, so now we have blue, and without using face paint, which I don't want to do again, we're gonna map out the dots that are. I'm gonna use a little bit of bronzer. Just to chisel out just a little bit of cheekbone. Which she does not have a lot of definition on her face. Her face is very flat. And once I get the wig on, the wig will cover up all of that too. So, I mean, you're not going to see... Not gonna see a lot of it. Okay, so I have a very blue. Her eyeshadow is blue, but we're going to recreate eyebrows up high because she does not have them in the regular place they are. They're gonna be way up here. So the way we map that out, I have a mason jar lid, kind of so I can see through it while I apply this, but I have a blue that's gonna match the interior of that, and we're sort of just gonna map these out the best we can. So what I want to do is put this up, the part that's flush to my skin. We're going to put, I guess if you're going to map out the actual line, you could do it with anything, but something flat. So you're going to map out from the corner of your eye and then a little bit wider than your natural brow. So if I line, I'm going to be looking behind you guys in my Reiki. So I'm going to line that up with that. And then I'm going to put a dot here. And then we're going to line out this way. And hers are very fanned out. So, I mean, it's going to come all the way out to like the tip where your eyebrow is. So where my natural brow goes, all the way out to that side. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So same thing here. We're going to line from the corner of our eye in and then just create a symmetrical, hopefully. If we're lucky, these will be the same distance. Markings out this direction. So you just lay that palette. I mean, if you could get something that bends, that would be easy too, but I'm just going to use this palette. So we're going to just mark from here, an eyeball this way, and make a mark there. So that is pretty much where our brows are gonna go, right? So I am gonna start, I'm gonna be using our eyeliner pen, our Limelife eyeliner pen. We're gonna do those last. So that's our mapping for the eyebrows. Now, hang on just a second. I mean, her eyeshadow goes all the way up to that point. So I'm going to take the mason jar lid. I'm going to sharpen this pencil. Guys, I'm like doing this on the fly for real. I have no reference picture, so I have no way to see. What it's supposed to look like. So we're just going to do the best we can. Okay, so those 2 points there, we're going to create an arch by matching that point on the lid to this point on the lid. And I feel like that's really, really arched. No, I'm eyeballing it. Wish me luck, y'all. I don't think I have anything else with less of a circle. Well, that's less of a circle. But you can't see through it, so that's impossible. Okay, we're going to do this. I know this looks incredibly crazy. Okay, I'm going to do this with I'm going to freehand this. So we're going to just go from here to there. and here to there, freehanding. Now those are not my eyebrows. My eyebrows are going to be just right above that. But this gives us a line to map out. So we're just going to sketch easy. What, Ren? So we're going to bring those down to our inner corner. And then these out here down to our outer corner, like so. And I feel like this one, and we're going to be filling this in blue, so don't worry about it being a little rough in the sketch. I feel like that looks pretty good. Well, I have a janky, my face is not symmetrical, so that's almost impossible, you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to go in and add a powder base to that in our Kyoto blue, which is a little more turquoisey than I really want, but it's going to give me a good powder base to work with. It's going to start giving me a blue base. And we're just going to fill in that spot. And that's going to be more of a greenish blue, which is not what I want in the final look, but this is going to give me that blue base to start with, and then I'm going to go back in and fill it in with that blue pencil. Because her eyeshadow is like a true like Mimi Drew Carey show blue. And then I just keep using my powder brush and fluff off any of that blue pigment that's falling. All right, so that gives me, whoa, that fluff of blue powder just went everywhere. Okay, so that's gonna give me a good blue base to start with. And then we're gonna go back in with our pencil and we're gonna fill this in. So we might have to sharpen a few times in the coloring. But this way my skin is not showing through and there's no white showing through when I do this part. So like even if you're going to be doing like a red look, you could use, you know, like a pink base or something, and that's going to give you a way to cancel out your color without using a like rear end load of concealer. So when working with pencils, if you pull your skin tight, if you're filling in, let me correct myself. If you're filling in with a pencil, you can pull your skin tight. If you're making a line, please do not, because it's not going to come out the same. There's going to be a lot of blue pencil happening here today. I wish I could just take this and melt it down into a paint. Covering up those brows. So by the end of this, they really should be pretty non-existent. I mean, you might see them a little bit if you're looking close, but. So see, that's gonna give us that big blue, that's like her huge eyelids. I've got a phone, sorry, there was a phone call coming in. A lot of people call me when they know I'm live, every single time. Hey guys. Sharpening again, sorry. And again, just work in sections, trying to do like that upper section. I'm gonna do my brows last because that tends to take a lot of the pencil. I don't know why people insist on trying to leave me voicemails. Guys, I do not check voicemails. I know I probably need to, but I need an assistant to do that. I hate voicemails. If you leave me a voicemail, I'm serious, it might be a year before I check it. Just sharpening my life away here. We're almost done with the blue part. Gosh, this fly, I'm serious. Guys, I don't know what you guys in Clyde and Abilene have done, but the plague of flies and mosquitoes are legit. I'm about over it. And I just got back. All right, so now we're gonna go back in and put that blue in my eyebrow. And the actual tails of my natural eyebrows are sticking out a little further than that, but you really can't see it. I mean, unless you're up really, really close. And if anybody is critiquing that closely, seriously. I don't do professional theater makeup, so this is what you get. This is what you get. All right, so those are pretty covered in blue. I'm just gonna go in and sharpen up with a sharp edge that outer part there. And I need to use okay, we have blue eyebrows, or eyelids. Fantastic. Okay, that part's done. So this part is a little bit hard. I'm going to go around my eyes in black eyeliner using our Limelife by Alcone eyeliner pen on just my natural lash line. No wing, no creation, no nothing. We're just gonna, because she actually looks very homely, but this is gonna help when I put on lashes and mascara. So this is less for a lining effect and more for just a blending effect. None on the bottom, just the top. And only where I have natural lashes growing. So it's really like, you can't really even see it. So normally I would put on a bald cap, and pull it back here. And then we would latex my hair and we would cover that in the same white we did my face in. But because I'm not going through all of that right now, we're gonna just work with what we have. So my eyebrows are actually gonna go exactly at the same arch that my eyeshadow is. So, oh my God. We're gonna try. Oh my gosh, I'm terrified. I'm gonna sketch some out real quick. Now, like I said, I'm not a pro, but there's some eyebrows. There's some eyebrows. All right, so we're gonna rock with that. It's so much easier on other people because I have a way to brace my hand. When I'm doing my own, I don't have a way, oops. I don't have a way to brace my hand, which makes it a lot more complicated. Where's the lid to my eyeliner? I'm just like throwing things everywhere, so I really don't know where I just threw the lid to that. Anywho, carrying on. Okay, so we're gonna do some lips. This is also, gosh, that was loud, sorry. This is also one of the parts, oh, there it is. One of the parts that I'm a little scared of. So ideally, I would have a red pencil and be able to map out that heart and make it very symmetrical here. I don't. So I'm going to use a little bit more of that white cake. No, I'm not. I don't want it in my mouth. Sorry. Change my mind. It will, seriously, be everywhere. So I'm going to take just a little bit more concealer. And do one more layer of that concealer on my lips. And then I'm going to show you guys, because her lashes are very big on top and on bottom. So I'm going to have to do reverse installation of some brows on the, of some lashes on the bottom. So we're canceling out our lips with some concealer. That actually worked pretty well. It's not exactly white, but it'll work. Okay. Now, I'm going to use our lip pencil. And because I don't want it smearing. Yeah, Joshua. Okay, so I don't want my heart smearing. And so I'm going to use my, otherwise I would use our lipstick. But I don't want it smudging when I move my lips, and so I'm actually going to be using our Enduring Lip Color in the color Cherry Pie, and I'm going to be creating my heart out of that. So I just take the wand out of the actual tube and use what's on the end of the wand with our number 15 lip brush. Guys, this is where things are going to get a little scary. And I might have to trace it out a couple times before I get it exactly the size that I need. But it is a very narrow heart. Hi, guys. Thanks, Jerome. Oh, Joshua, you love cherry pie. So I am going to map that out just a little bit larger. So I'll have to map the heart on the top out larger too. And then once I fill all this in, it'll be really, really red. And this will dry matte, which is even better. I definitely feel like I could have made that skinnier. So we're going to take that off the bottom. And I am going to make that skinnier on the bottom. So we just have to go back in and add our concealer back onto our lips. I knew if there was some part I was going to mess up, this was going to be it. Thanks, Jerome. Yeah, I like the Queen of Hearts. From Alice in Wonderland. Okay. Now, we're going to try the bottom section one more time. Okay. That's better. So I'm going to let that dry really well, and then we're going to put another layer on top of that to really just that's going to just really color in the color and make it less see-through. Aw, thanks, Matt. Okay. Ta-da! All right, now she does have a small, tiny little mole right here. We're gonna put that on and then we're gonna do lashes. So she has a tiny little beauty mark there. And once I get my wig and my crown and everything else on, it should look pretty close. I mean, I definitely could have done a better job, but for a rushed home version, this is not too bad. Okay, lashes. Okay, I'm gonna build my top lashes with my regular mascara, with my Limelife. And then I'm actually, that is not mascara. I'm actually going to be going in and doing my bottom lashes with a set of falsies. And we're gonna be reverse attaching them on the bottom. I would be here for 3 hours trying to build my bottom lashes because I don't have length or volume to mine. And I would be here forever trying to do that with... What does she scream? Off with our heads! Okay, here we go. Oh, Cassie, are you still watching? Are you still here? Cassie, tell me if you're still here. Tell me something. You said you wanted to be this for Halloween. Girl, you should let me do yours and then let me do baby boy in the little white rabbit. Oh my God, it would be so cute. Thanks, Trish. Okay, so we're gonna build a couple layers of these up on here. Hi, guys. Y'all say hi when you jump on. I'm probably going to be doing another late night look. And it's going to be tons of fun. And a lot less of full face coverage. Because today, the one this morning was really long. And this one took forever with the actual face paint part. The actual white part. So if I had two sets of falsies, I honestly would put some on the top and the bottom just because this is a costume look. But for today, we're just going to do the best we can. Building as much length as possible with my Limelife mascara, which is way better than mine natural lashes. And that white face paint, you can see, is cracking some of my lips. And so we're going to have to go in and touch those up before I do after pictures. But. Okay, so here's where things get a little weird. Okay, so I have to apply these falsies. Oh, God. I'm going to try using clear glue. I have to apply these upside down. I've actually never done this. You're welcome. First time on video. That's not scary, right? So instead of applying the falsie this way, ooh, if I don't drop it. So you have your falsie, right? So instead of applying that this direction like we normally would, we're actually going to turn them over. Oh gosh. We're going to turn them over to where they face like our natural lashes point down. So we're actually going to be applying these like this. Right? Y'all, I'm terrified. I don't get nervous doing anything makeup, but this has me like shaking. I'm so nervous. Okay. Come on, y'all. Give me some hearts or something. Give me a thumbs up in the comments. I'm terrified right now. I'm serious. I don't ever, ever, ever get nervous doing stuff like this, but this is a first. I've never applied falsies to my bottom lid before. Today. Just right now. So we're going to let those get a little tacky, and I'm going to apply those, hopefully, and not mess up all of my makeup on the bottom. Thanks, guys. Hi, Steph. Hey, Tara. Okay, I look a little weird, for real. All right. behind closed doors, right? I don't want y'all to see me do this. But I kind of sort of need both hands. I just have to get these to go underneath my natural lash. Okay, one important thing about applying falsies, seriously guys, if you take any tip from me ever, start applying with clean hands. Because if you have dirty fingers or anything remotely sticky on your hands, it's going to stick. Guys, that is awesome. I actually may put some falsies on the top. I don't have another strip set, but I do have another, I have individuals that I use for my weddings. This is going to look cool. I think it's going to look cool. I definitely have some stuff that I would change if I did this on somebody else professionally, but I'm not hating it. And once I take some pictures and I get the wig and stuff on, it's going to look fantastic. Megan, I adore you. I'm ready. Is it Christmas yet? I'm ready to see your face. Hello, Sandra. I feel weird smiling with this on. I feel like I should just be stone-faced the whole time. Hello, Sandra. Oh, that's just creepy. Okay, here we go. Guys, I cannot do this left-handed. I'm going to have... Get away from me, fly. I'm going to have to do this right-handed. Oh, that was much easier. Okay. Note to self. Putting on bottom lashes. Bend head down. Make awkward face with lips. Helps. Guys. I'm not disgusted with myself right now. That definitely feels super weird. Feels really, really weird. I might start wearing lashes on the bottom every day. I wish I had some for the top, but I just don't. And I feel like I need them. But individual lashes are going to take a really long time. Hi, guys. So I do have individuals, and like I said, oh my God, y'all, those would take forever. These would take a really long time to put on because they're like individual little strips, you know? But I am going to put some just on the outside because I feel like the look needs it. It's for the look. Do it for the look. I mean, I've gone this far. I don't want to shortchange myself right now. Okay, so I'm going to put, this is how I do these, and I normally have my tweezers. I've got to find my tweezers. So I just put, this is the packaged cap. You just put a little bitty dotted glue here because these individuals would take forever. Now, normally I do these with tweezers, and it's like super easy, but I don't know where my tweezers are. I've managed to lose them somewhere. So these are like three, I don't know if you guys can see that, like 3 individual lashes. It's not going to focus. Anyway, it's like 3 tiny little individual lashes. So I'm going to grab those, gosh, the best I can. I'm going to try to do this. You just dip it into that glue. It's so much easier with tweezers. Seriously, I fly through this when I do them that way. And then you're going to put this as close to your lash line as possible. And these are not theatrical at all. So, I mean, these may not even make a difference. And if this one doesn't make enough difference, I'm just going to, you know, say forget it. I mean, it definitely adds. It's not enough to matter. So, note to self, if you're going to do this look, grab 2 sets of lashes. I just happen to not have any. But that's okay. We're going to make the best of it. Okay. Y'all ready? I'm done. So I have to add my wig, and I don't want to do that on camera. So I'm actually going to let you guys go, and I am going to add all of my finishing details. That white face paint's soaking up my lip color. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go, and then I'm gonna take an after picture, and I'll show you guys my beautiful wig and everything else. But that's the face paint. It's kind of easy, right? Once you get your face white and you map this out, not too complicated. All right, I'll see you guys in just a little bit with some fun.